Here's my room. And then here are my note cards. Okay. In May of 2020, during the heat of Black Lives Matter this past summer, actress Lea Michele, known for her role in Glee, tweeted in support of the movement. However, just a month later, her fellow castmates called her out for behaving the exact opposite. It all started when, according to HITC.com, fellow castmate Samantha Ware tweeted, and I quote, "Lea has engaged in microaggressions that have made me question a career in Hollywood," end quote. It wasn't long till after this tweet surfaced that other minority castmates took to Twitter to share their experiences with Lea as well, resulting in her being what we call today canceled. And that's what I'll be talking about. But more specifically, I'm going to be talking about the toxicity of cancel culture. So let's define what cancel culture is. According to dictionary.com, cancel culture is defined as the popular practice of withdrawing support for public figures and companies after they've done or said something objectionable or offensive, and it is generally discussed as being performed on social media in the form of group shaming. In other words, it's our generation's way of showing disapproval for someone's actions, whether past or present, online. Within just this past year, many celebrities, which many of you may be familiar with, have gotten canceled. Celebrities like Ellen, Eminem, Lana Del Rey, Chris Pratt, and Jimmy Fallon are just to name a few. And companies have also had their fair share of cancelings as well, like L'Oreal, Oatly, Uncle Ben's Rice, many sports teams, and Land O'Lakes as well. When it comes to the positives of cancel culture, there are slim to none. The only positive that comes to my mind is the concept of shame. By calling people out and holding them accountable for their actions, we are able to sometimes make them feel ashamed of what they've done, which hopefully is enough to make them want to change. Here, think about it this way. When you were younger, you probably did something that your parents did not like, and they wanted to change that behavior. So, in order to do that, they probably gave you some form of consequence, and this consequence might have made you feel ashamed of what you did, which in turn makes you less likely to repeat that action. However, cancel culture does way more harm than good, and this one positive will not outweigh the negatives, which I'll be talking about a few today. First, people who participate in cancel culture pick and choose when and who they want to cancel. People who commit the same offense sometimes receive two different reactions, and this can be seen with actress Jane Krakowski and actor Robert Downey Jr. In 2006, Jane Krakowski acted in a show called 30 Rock, and in 2 episodes of this show, her character did blackface. This received so much backlash that just this past year, both episodes were taken out of circulation completely. However, in Robert Downey Jr.'s case, we see the exact opposite. In 2008, he acted in a movie called Tropic Thunder, and in this movie, his character did blackface as well. However, according to the Washington Post, a YouTube video of him in this movie received over 4.5 million views and only continues to grow today. And in the comments of this video, everyone is praising him for this performance. And in fact, he later on, just a year later, received an Oscar nomination for this performance. My question is, though, how are we able to justify one person receiving backlash, yet we praise another for doing the exact same thing? The last time I checked, blackface is blackface, and there are no levels to it. So again, how are we praising Robert Downey Jr. for this movie and not Jane Krakowski for her actions, right? Next, I would like to discuss how cancel culture doesn't allow room for apologies. Now, I understand that when someone does something wrong, I do not want to hear what they have to say. However, after some time to cool down and recuperate, I'm willing to be all ears. However, when it comes to cancel culture, it feels like it's never the right time to apologize. If you apologize too quick, you're told you're only sorry you've got caught and you're not genuine. If you apologize too slow, you're told that you're only doing so because people are pressuring you into doing it. And if you don't apologize at all, you're told you're not remorseful for your actions. If no apology is good enough, why do people who participate in cancel culture continue to beg for and expect one? If a person is going to apologize and you shut them down immediately, then doesn't that make their apology worthless to begin with and not even worth a try? I understand that apology does not fix everything. However, I do believe that an apology is the first step to change, which leads me to my next point. Cancel culture doesn't allow people to change. Oftentimes, once someone is canceled, no one really cares to listen to what they have to say, and many people are reluctant to forgive. However, people and their beliefs can change every day. Since cancel culture is still a relatively new concept, a lot of the time that people are getting canceled, it's because of something that they did in the past or years ago. Therefore, there's a good chance that the person in question does not believe in the things that they did back then. If people are willingly changing and working to prove that they are not the same person that they were during the time of the offense, then shouldn't they be given a second chance? Now you may be asking, if cancel culture is seen as toxic, then what's an alternative? In order to still hold people accountable for their actions, we should be more focused on seeing mistakes as opportunities to educate one another and potential bridges to change. If and only if the person in question is willing to work to regain their status in society. However, if they aren't, then by all means, shame them. We are taught from a very young age that mistakes are going to happen and they're okay as long as we learn from them. And that should hold true our entire lives. So the next time you think about participating in some form of cancel culture, maybe stop and think about the situation at hand. Be more open to people apologizing and trying to be better people. But most importantly, remember that you can expect someone to change if you take away the space and opportunity for them to do so. Thank you.